Disclaimer. The following is a fan-made rewrite in an audio drama format as a tribute piece. This is not intended to be a replacement of the original classic film. This rewrite was done to re-include some cut content that was supposed to be in the original classic film. We also recognize that this intellectual property is owned by its respected companies.
People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes, something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right.
On a stormy October night, police were investigating a brutal double homicide. It was the night before Halloween. What the locals have deemed Devil's Night due to the yearly destruction caused by heathenistic street gang. Inside of a wrecked loft that was once occupied a young couple, some local law enforcement were looking around for any traces that can hopefully lead them to the ones responsible for the chaos.
Hey, Sarge, check it out. Don't think they'll be getting their deposit back.
One officer calls out to his sergeant named Bernard Alrech, who is standing by a wounded woman named Shelley Webster.
Sir, please, we need to move her now.
One medic pleads with the sergeant, who gives him the green light.
Do it.
As the sergeant leads the medic team outside with the injured Shelley on the gurney, Detective Torres, who is Alrech's CO, rushes onto the scene.
This one of the victims?
No, it's Amelia Earhart. We found her and you missed it.
I don't give a fuck what her name is, and I don't recall giving you the okay to move her, Alrech.
Alrech stays with Shelley, who moves her oxygen mask to ask,
"Where's Eric?"
Don't worry about him right now. You need to focus on getting better.
Albrech's tone was measured, and as he responded, a young girl approaches them with a skateboard in her hand.
Shelley? Is she okay?
Shelley's eyes flick from the girls to the sergeants.
"Tell Eric to take care of Sarah for me."
Shelley gives what may as well be her last request before Alrech carefully pulls Sarah aside so the medics can load Shelley into the waiting ambulance.
You, Sarah?
He asks before the young girl nods to confirm.
Yeah.
Look, your sister, she's gonna be okay.
Shelley's not my sister. She just takes care of me. She's my friend. Her and Eric. You lied to her about Eric.
Look, I had to.
And you're lying to me about Shelley. She's gonna die, isn't she?
Alrech was at a loss for words. How do you respond to such a question for a young preteen? Sarah's eyes then starts to tear up before Alrech invites her in for a warm, friendly embrace.
Hey, come on. It's okay. She's gonna be okay.
Exactly 1 year from that fateful night, during the early evening hours right before sundown, Sarah was picking roses at the local cemetery. She took one rose from the graves until she had a small bouquet. She leaves almost the whole bunch on Shelley's grave before leaving a single rose on Eric's, clearly playing favorites since she has a stronger bond with Shelley than she does with her friend's fiancé. Right before she leaves, Sarah stops momentarily when she sees a black crow perch onto Eric's tombstone.
What are ya? Some sort of night watchman?
She calls out to the mythical bird before it caws at her in response before it pecks at the tombstone as Sarah takes her leave. Meanwhile, several blocks away, a ruthless street gang were at an arcade where they had a woman duct taped to a chair while they were rigging up some timed explosives.
You know Lake Erie caught on fire once cause of all the shit that's in it. Wish I could have seen that.
The leader of the gang says as he lights a cigarette while his crew begins smash all the arcade machines. Meanwhile, back at the cemetery, after the sun had finally set, the grave belonging to Eric Draven opens up by Draven himself from inside his once buried casket. As he resurfaces, he spots a dark, shadowy figure wearing a cowboy hat and possibly a cloak or a cape. The figure watches on as Eric struggles up on his feet before using an available low-hanging branch to help balance himself. Suddenly, a black crow flies from the dark figure and over towards Eric before it perches right next to him as if to welcome him back to the realm of the living. Meanwhile, over at Mickey's hot dog stand, Sergeant Alrech was about to enjoy his dinner.
You know what this place really needs? Is a good old-fashioned natural catastrophe. Like an earthquake, tornado, or a flood, like in the Bible.
Mickey says he tries to prepare Albrech's hot dog before the confused sergeant corrects him.
Now, Mickey, you gotta put the mustard on the bun first. Here, let me do it.
Mickey lets Alrech fix his hot dog just as Sarah pulls up on her skateboard.
Now, let me get some onions. Come on, Mickey, don't cheap out. Give me some onions. Lots of onions.
Once Sarah settles onto the available stool right next to Alrech, Mickey's eyes flick over to her.
Hey, it's the Sarah monster!
Now I don't get how you can steer that thing on these wet streets.
Years of practice. Hi.
Sarah responds before she finally acknowledges Mickey.
Now, Sarah here is a true hot dogger. You hungry?
You buying?
I'm buying.
Okay, no onions on mine. They make you fart. Big time.
Little did the trio realize, over at an alleyway not too far from them, Alrech is making his way back to the loft where he and Shelley call their home. He stumbles on his bare feet in the rain-saturated alley before he falls. After pulling himself back up, he sheds his top of his drenched suit, starting with his jacket followed by his dress shirt, so now all that's left is his slacks. Alrech then notices his now healed bullet wounds on his chest as the black crow he's seen earlier from the cemetery perches on a nearby dumpster to show Alrech the available pair of black work boots, which Alrech takes with slight hesitation before putting them on. Alrech gazes at the mythical bird in confusion at first before it would be replaced with curiosity. After a moment, Alrech was walking towards the familiar arcade games building when it finally explodes. The force from the impact knocks Alrech a few feet, and it also grabs the attention of the trio over at the hot dog stand.
What was that?
You stay right here.
Be careful.
Yo, Mickey! Call it in for me!
Meanwhile, back at the burning arcade, the woman that was trapped inside managed to get out through the front entrance.
Help me, please!
She pleads in agony as she stumbles into Alrech's arms. As Alrech holds the injured woman, something strange starts to happen. He can see the events leading up to the explosion. The scenes flash before his eyes. The men in the arcade, they look familiar. Sound familiar. He can see the rigged-up timed explosives. Alrech carefully lays the woman down on the ground before making himself scarce before Sergeant Alrech arrives. Upon arrival, Alrech checks on the injured woman who is still showing signs of life.
Hey, stay with me now, all right? You're gonna be okay. Stay with me.
Alrech encourages the woman, who gives every bit of fight she had to hold on, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough.
No, come on, darling. Don't leave, please.
Alrech pleads, but it's too late. The woman is gone. Moments later, Alrech finally reaches his destination, but the once familiar building looked different. Abandoned. And forgotten. Alrech had to remove some boards to get in. After climbing up the staircase he barely recognizes with the old Halloween decorations that were still there from the prior year, Alrech reaches the door that leads into the loft Shelley and him were living in. The door still had the yellow caution tape on it from that night, 1 year ago. When Alrech finally enters, he takes in the sight of the wrecked loft. The space was littered with scattered pictures and broken glass. Suddenly, he hears a familiar meow.
Gabriel?
He whispers with a shudder from the cold that was coming in through the large window that was shattered from the chaos. Alrech attempts to pick his cat up, but as soon as he touches him, the horrible events from that night flash before his eyes, which causes him to reenact his part in real time. He can see them. The goons from the arcade are now in the loft. His and Shelley's loft.
Department of Housing! Code violations? Safety hazards? Place looks fine to me. Let's redecorate.
The gang's leader, known as T-Bird, starts before reading a scripture from the Satanic Bible.
Abashed, the devil stood and felt how awful goodness is.
He can see them wrecking their home as he arrives at the cracked open door.
Shelley?
He calls for her before opening door enough to enter, but before he could, one goon hurls a knife right into Alrech's chest, which takes him down instantly. Two other goons drag Alrech inside before they prop him up so another can aim his pistol before taking a few shots that also hit his chest. He can also see Shelley being held down so all four punks can take turns violating the helpless woman while Alrech watches on as he gasps for air.
Alrech!
Her cries echo in his mind as he presses his palms against his temples. Finally, Alrech sees how they finished him off. The goons throw him through the large window and out of the loft before watching him plummet from 6 stories high to his death.
Shelley.
You remember her name. I'm impressed.
While lying on the floor in the fetal position, Alrech hears a dark, grim voice before he slowly sits up to see who it is. It's the same mysterious figure he's seen before. The figure looks like he could be the Grim Reaper himself, with his undead skeletal features, but instead of the stereotypical black hooded cloak, he's sporting a cowboy hat, bandana around his neck, and poncho. He looked every bit of an undead cowboy.
You're just an hallucination.
And you're dead. What? Did you think your true love was going to stroll out and give you a kiss?
Leave me alone.
The undead cowboy just stands there for a beat before giving his response.
All right, but you can see her again.
How?
Kill the ones who killed you both. Do it right, and you win a reunion on your anniversary.
Don't lie to me.
Why am I wasting my time with you?
The cowboy scoffs before continuing anyway.
You are dead. That gives you certain advantages.
He finishes before chucking a knife at Alrech, who can see it through his crow's eyes, so he knows to instinctively to evade, which he does before the blade connects with the wall behind him.
Trust what you see. Let the crow lead you.
Go away.
Guess she didn't mean so much to you then? You let them beat you. You let her die. Now, you let her rot.
The cowboy's words cut so deep that Alrech attempts to rush him, but he evades so quickly that Alrech almost threw himself out of the large window, but manages to catch himself by grabbing onto the iron framing, so Alrech swings outward, before refocusing his momentum back inward, so he can drop down onto the hardwood flooring inside the loft. It was at that point, when Alrech sees the cuts in his palms from the broken glass, that heal up instantly before his very own eyes, before he looks towards where the old cowboy was standing, but as Alrech can clearly see, he was gone. It was like he just vanished out of thin air. Meanwhile, at a local bar known as The Pit, T-Bird and his gang were enjoying some shots in celebration of their demolition to the arcade.
Here's to Devil's Night. My new favorite holiday.
He says before taking his shot along with a bullet that he swallows with his drink first, followed by Tintin, who insults another member named Skank.
Yo, what's this drink last, man?
The offended Skank pulls out his piece and presses the barrel against Tintin's temple as they both slowly rise to their feet.
Fuck you, Tintin!
Skank shouts before Tintin holds a knife to his throat.
Whoa, man. Shit ain't even loaded.
The arrogant Tintin casually says before Funboy, another member, pulls out and aims his piece at Tintin's right eye.
This one is.
Funboy declares before T-Bird finally puts a stop to the bravado by aiming his piece at each one of his men.
Which of you Motor City motherfuckers wants to bet me this one isn't?
All four men look at each other with the look that says, hold on, what are we doing, for a beat, before T-Bird finally eases the tension by leading his crew in a fired-up chant as Darla, who's not only the mother of Sarah, but also just happens to be Funboy's girlfriend, brings the men their next round of shots.
Here's your shooters. Put your guns away, huh guys?
Moments later, back at the loft, Alrech is sitting in front of a vanity while going through the pictures on the countertop. Each one plays a memory from the times they were taken. He then reaches up for the white mask and touches it to cause another memory to play out. It was of him using the mask to scare Shelley before the couple would share a laugh together. The mask was white with 4 black points, 2 pointing up from the brows and 2 pointing down from underneath the eyes. There was also an exaggerated black frown painted on the mouth. After the memory fades from his vision, the rage-filled Alrech punches the mirror to crack it before he begins to prepare for his mission. He starts by painting his face to mimic the design on his mask, only instead of a black frown, he paints an exaggerated smile. He then pulls out a large case that houses his outfit he used to wear whenever he would perform with his band called Hangman's Joke. He puts on a pair of black leather pants before pulling on a black long-sleeved shirt. Then he laces up his boots before putting them on and tying up the laces. He's ready to set the wrong things right. Minutes later, with his crow taking to the air, Alrech is running on rooftops and leaping from roof to roof in full-on parkour mode. He can feel himself growing stronger and more powerful with each step before reaching a vantage point that gives him a great view of Gideon's pawn shop. Inside, Gideon was negotiating a deal with Tintin, who is trying to pawn some rings and is one of the members of the street gang that murdered both Shelley Webster and Alrech Draven last year in their loft.
4 rings, huh? I don't know, man. They don't even look like 18 carat. That's how you know they're fake.
Gideon says in a smug tone as he looks the rings over before making an offer.
What is this, Tintin? Is that bloodstains I see on these? I'll give you $50, and I hate charities, so you can take it or leave it.
He finally makes his offer as he places the cash on the counter before the irritated Tintin begrudgingly takes it.
cheap-ass, chrome-dome, sacrifice motherfucker.
The offended gangster calls out as he approaches the front exit.
Close the gate on your way out.
Oh, I'll close it up real good for ya, massa. Fuck you.
He finishes as he gives Gideon the bird before locking up the shop.
Lucky I don't stab your fat ass.
Tintin mutters to himself as he walks away while lighting a cigarette. From the rooftops, Alrech tracks Tintin, who is now walking through an alleyway. As Tintin approaches a barrel that's lit up like a makeshift fire pit, he spots Alrech's crow perching nearby, so Alrech can see through the bird's eye to confirm that it really is one of the gang members that was at the loft on Devil's Night, before Alrech takes a swan dive off the high roof to land on a pile of cardboard below, to break his fall, that's mere feet away from Tintin's location. Alrech then laughs maniacally that echoes throughout the alley, which catches the gangster's attention as he starts to look around before he spots Alrech walking towards him.
The fuck you all painted up for, crackhead, huh?
Tintin taunts as Alrech gets closer.
Halloween ain't till mañana.
Tintin continues to tease before he kicks the burning barrel over in front of Alrech before he evades and rushes the thug to take him down. Alrech then stands him back up before throwing Tintin into the side of a building. The desperate thug lands a punch on Alrech's jaw but has no effect on the painted warrior. Alrech shoves Tintin against an adjacent wall before the punk lands a kick to his stomach, but that also had no effect, so Tintin tried to distract with another punch as he pulls his knife out. But Alrech has had enough playtime, so he hurls Tintin across the alley into a brick wall before swooping to pin the punk in place as he lets out a roar that's filled rage and vengeance.
I don't owe you anything, man. I don't even know you. What the fuck you want?
I want you to tell me a story about a man and a woman in a loft a year ago.
He starts to demand as the memory of that tragic night flashes in his mind.
You're out of your fucking mind, man.
Listen, I'm sure you'll remember. You killed them on Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween. Some dude, some bitch, whatever, man.
Her name was Shelly. You cut her. You raped her.
Yeah, Shelly, right. Yeah. I shanked her pink ass and she loved it.
Alrech's anger causes him to let his guard down, which gave Tintin the window he needed to knock Alrech down with a brutal headbutt before he starts beating on Alrech with a stray lead pipe. Tintin laughs as he strolls over to a nearby pallet stack while taking his leather coat off before he unsheathes two throwing knives, but little does he realize is that Alrech can see what he's doing through the eyes of his crow, so he's ready for whatever cocky thug has in store for him.
Murder? Let me tell you about murder. It's fun. It's easy. You gonna learn all about it.
Tintin manages the words as he steadies his breathing while Alrech gets back on his feet. Tintin chucks both knives, one at a time before Alrech dodges the first and swats the second away. The desperate Tintin cries out as he throws a third, but Alrech catches it like a trained pro before hurling back to its owner, which causes the blade to stab poor Tintin right in his shoulder. Alrech rushes in to pin the now injured thug against the stack of pallets before holding up one of the previously thrown knives.
Victims, aren't we all?
Alrech says before delivering the final blow. Meanwhile, at a nightclub that is a popular concert venue, T-Bird and Skank had arrived to meet with their boss known simply as Top Dollar.
Look at this place! What's the world coming to?
T-Bird shouts over the music from the live rock band as he and Skank fight their way to the staircase that leads up to Dollar's home base and HQ.
I gotta get upstairs! You hang out here!
T-Bird informs Skank, who nods before making his way to the nearby bar. When T-Bird reaches the top of the stairs, he runs into Dollar's right-hand name Grange, who is chatting with a couple of associates.
Hey, guess what? Arcade games fell down, went boom.
Boom.
Can you imagine that? Tragic.
T-Bird feigns innocence as he confirms with Grange that he and his crew completed the job.
Gather your soldiers. You're on for tomorrow night. No sweat.
Is the man in?
He's taking a meeting.
Grange responds with a knowing wink to imply that it's a private meeting. Inside Dollar's HQ, Micah, his lover, was enjoying a warm shower while he was sitting on the edge of their bed with another woman lying next to him bare while he's staring at a cemetery snow globe in his hand. After her shower, Micah walks over while tying her robe.
You're thinking about the past.
She calls Dollar out as they embrace before she takes her spot on the bed next to him as he starts to respond in regards to the snow globe.
Dad gave me this for my birthday. He says childhood is over the moment you know you're gonna die.
Micah then takes the memento from Dollar to look at it before planting a kiss on his forehead.
Is she asleep?
She asks coldly before he rolls the woman over onto her back. Her eyes were open with no signs of life in them.
I think we broke her.
Dollar declares as Micah grabs a ceremonial dagger before she hovers over the deceased woman and gazes at her.
I love her eyes. Pretty.
Micah proclaims before she begins to use the dagger to remove the woman's eyes. Meanwhile, across town, Sarah arrives at the pit where she finds her mom making out with Funboy at the same table rest of the gang were earlier during their prior celebration since her shift had ended. Sarah takes a seat before clearing her throat to alert Darla of her presence.
Told you to stay out of here.
Darla says before trying to continue her moment with the man she may not realize was involved with the infamous Devil's Night murders.
So, I guess you won't be home and out late again tonight, huh, Darla?
She's busy. Go play with your dolls or something.
I don't have any dolls.
Go get some food, huh?
But Sarah wasn't having it at first.
Somebody already bought me dinner. The police.
She informs the couple before Funboy gives her a look that says, "Will you get lost already?" which Sarah hesitantly takes the hint by grabbing the cash before she makes her way over to the bar.
Somebody already bought me dinner. The police.
Funboy teases Sarah before Darla and him share a laugh at her daughter's expense. Meanwhile, over at Gideon's, the shady pawn shop owner was counting his take before he sees a shadowy figure at his door.
Hey, piss off! We're closed!
He yells, but the figure ignores him and knocks on his door anyway.
Go sleep it off elsewhere, dusthead, unless he wants to get mutilated.
The figure then slams open the locked security gate that seals the front entrance, which causes the now nervous Gideon to grab his firearm before making his way to the front door as the figure now revealed to be Alrech Draven knocks once more.
What the damn creatures of the night?
Gideon grumbles as he approaches the door.
Hey, hey!
He begins to shout before Alrech cuts him off by headbutting the glass door, shattering it to pieces which causes Gideon to fall on his rotund backside. Alrech steps inside before his crow flies over his shoulder, which freaks the shop owner out.
Suddenly, I hear a tapping, as in someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
What are you talking about?
The confused shop owner asks as Alrech wipes some bits of glass off his shoulder before responding.
You heard me rapping, right?
Trespassing! And you owe me a fucking new door!
He shouts as Alrech looks back towards the damaged door, which gave Gideon the window to grab his piece.
I'm looking for something in an engagement ring. Gold.
You looking for a coroner? Shit for brains!
Gideon retorts before taking his shot at Alrech that hits him right in his chest before Gideon witnesses the bullet wound he caused heal instantly right before his very own eyes, which causes him to shake with fear.
Ah, shit on me! Shit on me! Shit on me!
He screams before Alrech picks him up and hurls Gideon over the front counter before the dirty shop owner grabs a baseball bat. Alrech then leaps up to hang himself upside down.
Mr. Gideon, you're not paying attention.
Alrech murmurs before grabbing the bat to hit Gideon in the forehead before dropping down on his feet. Gideon then tries a sucker punch, but Alrech was too quick, so he catches Gideon's hand before using it to shatter the glass countertop.
Oh, my hand!
The shop owner cries out as he feels the cuts and pieces of broken glass in his hand.
I repeat, a gold engagement ring. Yes?
Alrech's tone is more firm this time, which causes Gideon to nod in response.
It was pawned here a year ago by a customer of yours named Tintin.
Alrech explains as Gideon grabs something to wrap his hand with.
He confided in me before he ran out of breath.
Speaking of Tintin, back over at the alleyway, police and medics were at the scene where Alrech had caught up with the thug before slaying him. Medics were rolling Tintin's lifeless body so they can take him to nearby morgue.
So who's this sack of shit?
It's Tintin, one of T-Bird's little helpers. I think you can rule out accidental death.
Don't any of your street demons have real grown-up names?
Alrech ignores the joke to give his speculation as to what he thinks may have happened.
Could be a turf hit, but it doesn't look like your typical gang crap.
Come on, Alrech, spare me. You're a beat cop now, so be a beat cop.
Supposed to thank you for that, right?
Word to the wise, watch your fucking mouth.
He pauses when he notices a marking on the exterior wall of one of the buildings.
What the hell do you call that?
Alrech turns slowly, so both men are now looking at what appears to be a crow insignia outlined with Tintin's blood.
I call it blood, detective. I suppose you'll write it up as graffiti.
You can leave my crime scene now, okay?
Officer Alrech shrugs before he casually strolls off. Back at the pawn shop, Alrech is growing increasingly frustrated as he continues his search for missing engagement ring.
How about now? Warmer?
He shouts as he breaks more of Gideon's glass counter.
What are you talking about?
Gideon asks nervously as he wraps his injured hand.
Don't you know this game?
Eric asks as he continues to intimidate Gideon, who finally caves.
What game? Okay, back there, in the back behind the counter.
Eric opens a back cabinet where he finds a box of rings as Gideon rambles on.
Take 'em! Take the fucking rings! I don't give a shit! And when you do, you can choke on 'em, you son of a bitch!
Eric then sits on the floor as the memory of him surprising Shelley with the ring plays in his mind before he goes through each ring.
No, 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 no.
Another memory plays when he finally finds the ring.
Shelley.
The memory is when Shelley finds the ring in their attic. The infuriated warrior then kicks open a set of doors and knocks over some gas containers, causing fluid to spill out as he returns to the front counter to speak with Gideon once more. Eric aims the fool's own shotgun at him.
You have one chance to live.
Look, man, take anything, alright? Anything.
Eric then picks up a gas can and pours the fuel onto the counter as he starts to interrogate Gideon.
Now you're gonna tell me where I can find the rest of Tintin's little party pals.
They all hang out at the pit. T-Bird's little potato heads like to party there. Funboy. He lives in the apartment upstairs, alright?
Funboy.
Eric echoes before the memory of Funboy doing the unthinkable to Shelley flashes in his mind, which flares up his rage. Eric then kicks in the glass counter.
It's a whole jolly club with jolly pirate nicknames.
Gideon starts rambling again before Eric aims the shotgun at him once again.
Hold still.
He warns before he starts chucking some rings at Gideon while speaking.
Each one of these is a life you helped destroy.
Please, man, don't kill me.
Gideon pleads for his miserable life as he drops down to his knees.
I'm not going to kill you. Your job is to tell the rest of them that death is coming. Tonight.
Eric instructs before pouring the rest of the rings into the barrel of the shotgun.
Let him know Eric Draven sends his regards.
And with that, Eric turns around to take his leave before grabbing a black guitar on his way out. His old guitar, most likely. As Eric approaches the door, Gideon finds enough courage to shoot his mouth off again.
You walk out that door. They're going to erase your sorry ass. You nothing but a street freak, you shithead. Street freak, you motherfucker.
Hey, is that gasoline I smell?
No, man, no.
Eric walks a few feet away before turning on his heel to take aim and fire a shot with the rings he had loaded into the barrel to spark a massive explosion. The pawn shop is now burning memory. And as for Gideon? He managed to escape out the back entrance by the skin of his teeth, but not without his clothes catching on fire, which he manages to put out before fleeing the scene. As Eric was walking away from the pawn shop with his guitar strapped around him, he was halted by an approaching police cruiser that belonged to Officer Alrech, who pops with his piece ready.
Police! Don't move! I said don't move!
He warns Eric, who takes only 2 more steps before he complies.
I thought the police always said freeze.
Eric asks as Albrecht approaches him a little closer.
Well, I am the police. And I said don't move, so once you move, you're dead.
The officer warns before Eric decides to test him.
And I say I'm dead, so I move.
Eric says as he raises his hands in surrender but moves towards Albrecht.
Not another step. I'm serious.
Albrecht warns, but Eric can see there's no real bite in the warning, which means Albrecht is no killer.
Then shoot if you will, Officer Albrecht.
Eric calls his bluff as he takes a bow before the confused officer questions the painted warrior's mind.
What are you, nuts? Walk right into a gun? You high?
Eric tilts his head and furrows his brows before asking.
You don't remember me?
What are you talking about?
How about Shelley? Do you remember Shelley Webster?
Shelley Webster is dead, my friend. Now, I want you to move over to the curb right there. Come on, nice and easy. Come on, move it.
Albrecht was starting to lose his patience, but Eric complies with the order.
We're gonna be waiting for backup. Shit's getting way too weird for me.
Albrecht has Eric sitting on the curb now as he begins to respond.
Oh, it gets better. Do you know someone named T-Bird? He had a friend who shouldn't have played with knives. Like the coat?
You're the guy who murdered Tintin.
He says as he hears looters over by the still-burning pawn shop, which gets his attention, but Eric continues after shaking his head.
He was already dead. He died a year ago, the moment he touched her. They're all dead. They just don't know it yet.
Albrecht loses his focus for a moment to scare the looters off, but that was all Eric needed. So when Albrecht looks back, he was shocked to see that Eric had seemingly vanished into the night.
Oh, great. Great. Guy shows up looking like a mime from hell. You lose him right out in the open. Well, at least it's the end of that. Walking against the wind. I hate that shit.
Meanwhile, back at Top Dollar's HQ, inside his boardroom, he was feeling a little on edge while Micah was sitting on the table as she cooked something her chalice.
You're very restless.
Just wish I was a little hungry, you know? That's all.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, you just might get it, huh? I know.
Once Dollar settles into his seat, he blows out the fire in the chalice that was cooking one of the eyes from the woman who was in their bed.
There's energies lining up against you.
Seeing is believing, isn't it?
As Dollar was about to partake, he and Micah were interrupted by Grange and T-Bird.
Gideon's pawn shop just burned down to the foundation.
And no one cleared this little event with me.
I ain't got anything to do with that.
Dollar glances at him briefly as he prepares a line of snow on his tray.
I'm sure you must be awful disappointed.
I got trouble. One of my crew got himself perished.
Yeah, and who might that be?
Tintin. Someone stuck his blades in all his major organs in alphabetical order.
Well, gentlemen, pardon me, but I think it's time to have an introspective moment of silence for poor old Tintin.
Dollar says coldly before snorting up snow.
Now, you're working for me tomorrow, right?
Whatever you say. I can do.
Good. That's very reassuring. Now, let's get the story as to why Gideon's place had burned down. Is it a natural catastrophe or act of God? Tell him I need to know.
Dollar orders Grange, who nods before he and T-Bird take their leave. Back on the other side of town, Sarah was still out on the streets with her skateboard. She was about to take off on the road when an oncoming taxi charges right towards, unable to stop due to the rainy weather. As luck would have it, right before the car would hit her, Eric grabs her right in time to carry her back over to the sidewalk.
Let me go, you creep.
As Eric holds Sarah briefly, a memory flashes in his mind. It was Shelley and Sarah together. Shelley was modeling her wedding dress for Sarah.
Wow, Shelley. You look great.
Sarah's voice echoes as Eric sets her down on the sidewalk.
You need to slow down, dickhead.
He couldn't have stopped.
He was a butt face. I could have made it.
She pauses to get a better look at the painted warrior who came to her rescue.
What are you supposed to be, a clown or something?
Sometimes.
As Sarah steps out to retrieve her board, she begins to rant about the rain.
It's more like surfing than skating. I wish the rain would stop. Just once.
Eric smiles warmly at his young friend before quoting a line from one of his band's songs.
Can't rain all the time.
Sarah then stops dead in her tracks when she recognized his voice.
Eric?
She then turns around, but he was gone. Meanwhile, at the local police precinct, Officer Cooper, who Albrech's female colleague, approaches Albrech's desk to hand him the case file for the infamous Devil's Night murders.
Don't thank me.
She giggles before adding,
Are we fighting the good fight?
Alrech takes a puff before answering.
Double homicide. A year ago. No convictions.
The two go over some of the items inside the starting with Shelley's letter to fight the eviction she and Eric were facing, which led to their untimely end. Alrech then sees a picture of Eric with his band sitting inside a vehicle.
Shelley Webster and her nice rock star boyfriend, Eric Draven.
Officer Cooper nods as she expresses her concerns.
You know, the last time you were caught snooping around was when they put you back on the beat.
Yeah, Torres keeps reminding me.
Oh ho! I bet he does.
Alrech then takes a second to look at Eric's face before he draws his face paint design on the picture to confirm his suspicions.
You're gonna wind up working a school crosswalk.
I'm cool.
You didn't get that file from me. And don't say you owe me one.
Cooper murmurs as she leans in close so only Alrech would hear. As she takes her leave, Alrech realizes that was Eric Draven he was speaking with over Gideon's.
I owe you one.
Alrech calls out to Cooper was pretty much halfway out the door.
Yeah, right.
She calls back. Moments later back at the pit but in Funboy's upstairs apartment now, he and Darla were in his bedroom taking turns shooting up before they attempt to make out. They would interrupted by Eric's crow first.
There's a big fucking bird there.
Darla says when she spots the bird over Funboy's dresser before he looks over as well.
It's a squab.
The two laugh like a couple of fools before Eric enters into the apartment through the same open window his crow also used.
Here, birdie, birdie, birdie. Hey, bird.
Funboy calls for the crow before Eric makes his presence felt.
Here, Funboy.
What the fuck?
Funboy says, thinking he must be tripping out before Eric rushes towards him but stops in pose that looks like he's about to stab Funboy, who is freaking out.
Hey, man! Don't do that! You nearly gave me a fucking heart attack.
I honestly thought he was real.
It's the drugs. No sweat.
He says as Eric pulls up an available chair before taking a seat and pressing his palm against the barrel of Funboy's piece.
Take your shot, Funboy. You got me dead banged.
Both Funboy and Darla start laughing like idiots before Funboy had the nerve to question Eric's sanity.
You're seriously fucked up. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You need some serious professional help.
Funboy then takes his shot that leaves a hole in Eric's palm.
Yes! He shoots! He scores!
The drugged-up goon cheers as he watches Eric move around like he's in pain until he sees Eric turn around to show the couple his hand that heals instantly before their very own eyes like magic.
Jesus Christ!
Funboy gasps with eyes wide with fear.
Jesus Christ? Stop me if you heard this one. Jesus Christ walks into a hotel.
Funboy cuts Eric off with another shot to the chest.
Ow!
Funboy laughs nervously as Eric continues.
He hands the innkeeper 3 nails and asks,
Don't you ever fucking die?
Funboy fires another shot at Eric's stomach this time, but of course both shots would instantly heal before Eric hits the punchline.
Can you put me up for the night?
Funboy attempts another shot, but Eric quickly knocks his hand down just in time to poor old Funboy to shoot himself in the foot. Both figuratively and literally. Meanwhile, Darla manages to hide out in the bathroom during the chaos.
Oh, did that hurt?
Yes, it fucking hurts. Look what you've done to my sheets.
Funboy says with hoarse whisper before passing out. Eric tosses the piece aside before dragging Funboy's body off the mattress and to the bathroom where he sees Darla off to the side crying her eyes out quietly. As Eric places the lifeless body into the tub, the memory of Funboy being at the loft flashes again, but more briefly this time.
I've got a gun in my pocket!
Funboy's voice echoes in Eric's head as he turns the water on while Darla grabs a razor blade to defend herself with if she needed to. Eric then shifts his focus to the frightened woman.
Stay away from me! Stay away!
When he approaches, Eric managed to take the shaver away from Darla before leading her to the vanity with his hold on her.
Look! Mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children.
Darla can feel Eric's hand squeezing her arm. Not enough to hurt, but rather to drain the drug from her injection sites.
Morphine is bad for you.
Eric murmurs into her ear before releasing his grip. The now calm Darla turns slowly around to face Eric before he places both hands on her cheeks to tilt her head up enough to look him in the eye when he tells her,
Your daughter is out there on the streets waiting for you.
He lets her go again to let her know that she's now free. Free to go home. Free to return to her daughter. As Darla takes off, Eric comes out of the bathroom to get a good look at the needle when he was blindsided from behind by the apparently still alive Funboy, who cuts Eric with the shaver that takes him down.
Touchdown! Fuckface!
Funboy then grabs a bag of snow which he snorts before he attempts to finish Eric off by cutting him some more and mashing a bottle over his head. But as soon as Funboy thinks he's won by standing over Eric's body, the painted warrior rises up to stab Funboy right in his stomach with the broken bottle to take him down for good this time. Meanwhile, back downstairs, Grange had just arrived at the pit when he spots the injured Gideon over at the bar.
Did you burn yourself playing with matches?
Fuck off!
You're needed for a meeting.
Well, shit on me. Surprised he has the time.
The men's discussion would be interrupted when they hear and see a panicking Darla rush down the stairs before bursting out through the exit.
You wait here.
Grange warns Gideon knowing something is wrong before he heads upstairs with his piece. Back in Funboy's room, the goon is crying in pain as Eric approaches him with the needle.
Nah, come on, man. You're wasting it. Ah, shit. It hurts.
Eric couldn't care any less about Funboy's pain, especially after the pain he helped to cause for Eric.
Your pain will end soon, but first, your friends. Skank, T-Bird, where?
Eric interrogates as Grange approaches the entrance to Funboy's apartment. When he finally enters, Grange spots Funboy on the floor twitching as he dies a slow, agonizing death. He then spots Alrech at the window, who shushes Grange with a quiet gesture before leaping out of the window. When Grange reaches the window, he looks out, but there was no sign of Alrech anywhere. Grange finally checks on Funboy and sees several needles piercing through him, much like what happened to Tintin with his knives. Grange then notices the crow insignia drawn on Funboy's chest with his own blood. Moments later, over at Alrech's apartment, the relieved officer was reviewing the case file when he felt a presence in his home, so he starts to search around. When he looks into his bedroom, he was distracted by his opened window.
Freeze!
Alrech jumps before turning around to see the very much alive Alrech Draven standing in his living room.
Jesus! Don't ever do that again!
He calls out as he catches his breath while Alrech checks out the picture of himself with his band.
Ooh, likeness is on point.
This can't be possible! I saw your body! You got buried!
Alrech explains as he tries to make some sense out of the situation.
You still have your hat on.
Alrech points out before Alrech removes his uniform piece and sets it on his coffee table.
I gotta sit down! Oh shit! Shit!
The shocked officer mutters under his breath as Alrech goes into the kitchen to grab a beer from the fridge for Alrech before he returns to the living room.
Hey, are you some kind of ghost?
Boo!
Alrech teases in response before twisting the cap off and handing the adult beverage over to Alrech, who accepts before sitting on the edge of his coffee table as Alrech takes a seat on the officer's recliner.
Truth be told, I don't know what I am. I need you to tell me what happened to us.
Well, for starters, you took a 6-story swan dive out of a window. She, was beaten and raped. Died at the hospital.
As Alrech explains, Alrech begins to tremble with rage.
Hey, you asked, man. I mean, come on. Read the file.
Alrech reaches for the case file as he stands.
Shelley Webster. Held on for 30 hours in intensive treatment before her body just gave it up.
Alrech then stands before he approaches Alrech as he continues.
I saw, man. I couldn't do jack for her.
Alrech offers the file to Alrech, but Alrech instead reaches to place his hands on the nervous officer's temples before he sees Shelley desperately fighting for her life through Albrech's eyes before releasing him out of shock and stumbling back as the officer tries to help the painted warrior.
No! Don't touch me!
Alrech holds his hands up in surrender as Alrech crawls back over to the recliner.
Hey, you alright?
The officer expresses his concerns as Alrech settles on the floor in front of the recliner.
I saw her. I saw her through your eyes. You stayed with her the whole time.
Hey, you need to understand something, alright? I was hoping she would come out of it, to give me something I can work with.
The officer sits back down on his coffee table before lighting up a cigarette.
Then I started sticking my nose in where it wasn't wanted.
Alrech then gets cut off by the frustrated painted warrior.
Why didn't you do something about it?
Come on, you really think any of those people, even the ones signing the petition, would talk after what happened to you?
Alrech was at a loss for words, so Alrech continues.
I kept asking questions, and eventually got demoted. Lost my sergeant rank.
Alrech then looks at a picture of Alrech with a mystery woman.
That your wife?
He asks as Alrech takes a puff.
Yeah, well, not anymore. We're getting a divorce.
Alrech has a faraway look in his eyes as he replies.
Funny. Little things used to mean so much to Shelley. I used to think they were kind of trivial. Believe me, nothing's trivial.
Alrech then reaches for Alrech's cigarette and takes a puff before putting it out on the ashtray.
You shouldn't smoke these. They'll kill you.
Alrech then rises back onto his feet before making his way to the door.
You gonna vanish into thin air again?
Alrech asks with a slightly teasing lilt, which causes Alrech to pause momentarily as he looks over his shoulder at the off-duty officer who he now considers a friend.
I thought I used the front door this time.
Alrech stands and takes a breath.
Look, for what it's worth, I'm sorry as hell for what happened to you and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Alrech murmurs before taking his leave.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at Top Dollar's HQ, he, Micah, and Grange are having that meeting with Gideon to get the story on the man's now burnt-down pawn shop.
I shot the son of a bitch. Watch the bullet holes close up all by themselves. Then the son of a bitch blows my business up real good. Other than that, my day sucked.
The angry Gideon finishes as he looks at Micah before Grange tells his story.
Yeah, I've seen him too. had a guitar with him. Then he winked at me before leaping out of the fourth-floor window like he had wings.
Winked at ya? Musicians. What else did you see?
So far, I haven't heard anything about what you're gonna do about this shit. I mean, what do I get? My livelihood done went up in smoke. I'm screwed.
Dollar then leans in to remind Gideon up close and personal of one thing.
You haven't lost everything.
Yeah? And maybe you're not such a big shot after all.
Gideon hollers as he attempts to rise out of his seat before Grange forces him to sit back down.
Yeah, here, catch.
Dollar responds before tossing something at Gideon, which he catches in his hands before he jumps after realizing he was holding a cooked eyeball.
Oh shit, what's that?
Say hi to the last fella who wouldn't cooperate with me.
Dollar informs as he heads over to his armory cabinet.
You mean to tell me that's real?
All the power in the world resides in the eyes, fella.
The syndicate leader calls out as he grabs a katana from the cabinet as Grange starts to hold the freaked-out Gideon down in his seat.
You know, you're all out of your fucking minds. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I see. That's one of the things I've picked up from my sister.
Dollar nods towards Lover before Gideon looks at Micah to confirm with Dollar that his lover is also his half-sister.
Sister? She's supposed to be your sister?
My father's daughter. What's the matter? You don't see the resemblance?
Micah then uses her foot to pin Gideon in place as Dollar holds the blade's tip up to the former pawn owner's chest.
Now, how about we take it from the top, friend? With more detail, what do you say?
He had a bird with him. Said to tell you and T-Bird that death is coming, whatever the fuck that means. Draven. Said his name is Eric Draven.
Dollar narrows his eyes.
You want to relax that thing now?
And this Birdman just let you go, huh? Could be saying this just to save your head, but I'm feeling generous, so all right.
Dollar lowers his blade before taking a few steps away.
A boy and his bird. Very touching.
Dollar leads Gideon into a shared laugh before he drives the katana blade through the poor fool's throat, which causes Gideon to choke on his own blood.
Oh, for fuck's sake, die already, will ya? Give me that thing.
Grange hands the cruel syndicate leader his piece before Dollar unleashes a few rounds into Gideon's chest to finish him off.
Thanks.
Grange receives his piece back from Dollar before he gives his boss some more information.
Funboy said he saw a bird too. A big one. I'll have janitorial come by to clean this up.
Grange finishes as he nods towards Gideon's lifeless body before taking his leave. Back over at the loft, while Eric's cat Gabriel was enjoying his dinner, the painted warrior was up on the roof playing his guitar when he was interrupted by an unexpected visitor.
What is this? Some kind of coffee break?
Go away.
You look a mess. That nasty incision you got on your back tell you anything?
Eric gives the cowboy the side eye.
Enlighten me.
You're getting a little extracurricular. It ain't your job to save people.
Now who have I saved?
That junkie for one. And her little girl.
Eric's eyes shut as he tries to keep his cool.
Sarah. I knew her.
She knows you too. Against the rules.
Well, maybe you should just write me a manual.
You work for the dead. Never lose sight of that. You work for the living, you'll bleed. No anniversary. No reunion. Don't make the same mistakes I've made.
The dark figure then takes his leave by vanishing as Eric continues to play his instrument of choice.
What are you talking about?
Eric asks before looking over at where the cowboy was standing, but it was too late. He's gone. Minutes later at Darla's apartment, Sarah had just arrived home before she immediately goes through her record collection and pulls out a Hangman's Joke vinyl which she puts on to listen for Eric's part. As she waits for the line, Eric's crow perches on a nearby open window which catches her attention.
Hey, it's you again. You hungry or something?
The bird then takes flight again before, sure enough, Eric's line "Can't Rain All the Time" plays before the record starts skipping to replay that line over and over as Sarah realizes that it was Eric who saved her earlier. As Eric's crow takes to the air, the big mythical bird catches sight of T-Bird ranting to Skank over Tintin's death before it perches on a telephone wire to keep the two goons in its sights.
I want to know what piece of rat shit made Tintin into a fucking voodoo doll.
Look, Tintin is dead.
T-Bird shakes his in disbelief and disgust before he and Skank do their fire it up chant to hype themselves up for the upcoming job Dollar had contracted him with. Then T-Bird checks his watch.
No Funboy.
He's probably still banging away on Darla.
Skank teases before he mocks Funboy as T-Bird takes notice of the local liquor store the two thugs are standing outside of. He motions for Skank to go in to grab a few items, but the confused Skank motions back to ask what he should get.
Smokes. And road beers, be quick.
T-Bird orders before he heads over to his car to wait for his buddy.
I want it.
While Skank was grabbing their supplies, T-Bird was lighting a cigar as Eric's crow perches onto the car's blower top of the motor. Eric himself then pops up from the backseat and aims Funboy's pistol at the confused thug's face.
What the fuck are you supposed to be?
I'm your passenger.
Eric whispers before he plucks the punk's cigar and drops it onto the center console.
Drive.
The painted warrior commands, so T-Bird fires up the big blower motor before shifting the hot rod in gear to take off while Skank saw the whole exchange go down.
Now what's this happy horse shit? Hey, T-Bird! T-Bird!
Skank shouts as he rushes out onto the street before getting himself hit by a car that stops right next to him.
The fuck is wrong with you? You stupid ass hair! You fucked up my car!
Skank cuts the motorist off by attacking him before taking the car to go find his buddy in the speeding hot rod.
So what's this about, huh? Drugs? Money? Yeah, I got it.
T-Bird tries to figure out why he's being targeted, but Eric ignores his questions and focuses his aim on T-Bird, who continues to talk.
It was you, wasn't it? The guy who did Tintin.
Eric leans in close to whisper a command.
Faster.
T-Bird puts his foot down to pick up speed in his souped-up Thunderbird, which catches the attention of two officers in a parked patrol vehicle enjoying a coffee break as the hot rod rips by them.
What the crap?
The driver shouts before he gives chase with the car's siren roaring into the night air.
Oh, look, making us popular, but you know, when they flash us like that, it usually means they ain't friends.
Eric checks through the rear window to see the cops chasing them.
Is this something personal? We can work it out, amigo, huh?
T-Bird tries to negotiate with Eric but is failing miserably. The hot rod keeps leading the cops as Skank struggles to catch up with him, hitting a few at dead ends. Finally, he sees T-Bird's hot rod crossing the street he was taking.
T-Bird! Okay, buddy, I'm coming!
When Skank pulls out onto the intersection, his stolen ride was struck by the same police cruiser that was also trying to catch up to his friend. Moments later, T-Bird and Eric had arrived at the docks where Eric has T-Bird duct taped to the driver's seat as he begins to interrogate the doomed punk.
Oh yeah, I remember that night, but wait, what? Oh, nah. You mean that old place downtown? Yeah, that's where we had put a little fear in that little lady who wasn't going along with our tenant relocation program. Then her idiot boyfriend shows up and turns what was supposed to be a simple sweep and clear into a huge cluster fuck. Who gives a shit? Why? What do you want? What is it? Speak to me. Speak.
T-Bird stops when he realizes who the man behind the painted face is before a memory flashes in his mind.
Did you send us these complaints? It's you! I knew you. I knew it was you. But you can't be you. We threw you out a window. There ain't no coming back.
Eric pushes T-Bird's head back against the headrest before applying some DIAC tape to keep it there as the now terrified goon repeats.
There ain't no coming back. There ain't no coming back.
Eric then lights up a flare before dropping it into T-Bird's lap as the twisted goon starts reciting the familiar piece of scripture.
Abashed, the devil stood, and felt how awful goodness is.
Finally, the painted warrior shifts the car into gear to send it speeding towards the pier as he pulls out a remote without realizing that Skank had finally arrived to see his friend heading to his dead end. Right when the car reaches the edge of the pier, Eric uses the remote to detonate the hot rod before it drops into the drink below. The next day, which is officially Halloween, Sarah was awakened by the smell of breakfast. Something she's been missing for a while now. When she peers over the couch, she was greeted by the sight of her mom setting the table while looking like she is fresh out of the shower, as her bathrobe clearly indicates.
Do you like em up or over? I can't remember.
Darla appears to be full mommy mode, but Sarah has her doubts.
What are you doing? I don't even like eggs.
Sarah says as she enters the kitchen.
What do you mean? You love eggs.
Darla continues to put in the effort, but Sarah can be just as stubborn.
Yeah, when I was 5.
Oh, so what is it now? Black coffee and cigarettes?
Sarah is still not convinced her mom is a changed woman.
So, what did you take to become Mother of the Year?
Oh, it wasn't drugs. Someone just kind of woke me up.
Who?
Oh, this is nuts.
You're acting weird. Did you win the lottery or something, Darla?
Forget it. I was never any good at this mommy shit.
She grabs the skillet from the stove, ready to toss the eggs in the trash when suddenly...
Over easy. I like 'em over easy, Mom.
Darla then flips the eggs in the skillet before the girls share a nice warm moment together as mother and daughter. Meanwhile, over at the police precinct, Officer Alrech was passing through the hall when Detective Torres stops him by his office to show the officer a picture.
Hey! There's a third hit now in your hood within 24 hours. Look familiar?
Alrech scans the image that is of a charred T-Bird who is fused to his now destroyed hot rod.
T-Bird. Arson was his specialty. Looks like he zigged when he should have zagged. Case close.
Bull fucking shit. Get in here.
Torres orders before leaning back against his desk as Alrech follows him into his office.
I got a goddamn vigilante killer knocking off scumbags left and right. And you're covering up for somebody. Tell me, Alrech, who's the freak with the painted face?
Hey, you're the detective, so why don't you tell me?
Okay, Gideon's blows all to hell and you're having a chit-chat with some weirdo who winds up in T-Bird's car when it zigs instead of zags. Then you steal one of my case files from homicide, and you're saying this is just a fucking automobile accident? Come on!
Yeah. Nice speech, detective. I didn't want to interrupt. It sounded good. You really gotta start writing this shit down.
Alright, smartass. The captain is gonna have a nice little love letter waiting for you. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your suspension.
Suspension? For what?
Misconduct.
Torres claims before Alrech storms out of his office. Back at the loft, Eric is sitting on the floor over by the fireplace as he goes through some pictures from moments of his old life with Shelley as the memories flash in his mind. He can hear her voice as he becomes increasingly overwhelmed with grief. Suddenly, he can hear footsteps from someone who's making their way to the loft. When the door opens, it was revealed that the steps belonged to Sarah.
Eric?
She calls for him, but he's nowhere to seen. However, Sarah was pleasantly surprised when the familiar white cat comes out to greet her.
Gabriel, I thought you were dead.
The young preteen exclaims as she scoops her feline friend into her arms.
You're not dead, are you?
Sarah asks as she pets the kitty briefly before setting him back down.
I knew it was you. Even with the makeup. I remembered your song. You said, can't rain all the time. That is from your song, right?
Poor Sarah starts to lose hope but continues to make an effort to reach her friend. Perhaps it's Eric being cautious due to the warning he received from the cowboy.
Come on, Eric. I know you're here. I miss you. And Shelley. Get so lonely all by myself.
Sarah pleads once more before she decides to give up since apparently Eric doesn't seem to care.
The hell with you. I thought you cared.
Or does he?
Sarah, I do care.
With a ray of beaming through the broken window, Eric finally makes his presence felt, which causes Sarah's face to light up before she runs towards the shadowy figure that is Eric so the two can embrace, which they do for a moment or two. Meanwhile, at Top Dollar's HQ, Skank identifies Eric in a copy of the picture that was on the entrance hallway wall downstairs since Eric's band had performed there.
That's him! That's him! But he looked different. He was painted up white like some kind of dead whore. I seen him. T-Bird sent me in for some road beers, right? And then he took him away, but I chased him down. And then he flash fried T-Bird to his fucking car. Ah, T-Bird, it's to you, buddy.
Maybe we ought to just videotape this. Play it back in slow motion.
Fire it up! Fire it up! Fire it up!
You see the grave?
Empty.
Fire it. Grave? What grave? What about my fucking grave?
3 out of 4. He's working his way back to this speed freak right here.
That's not fair. It's Funboy's fault. That boy was out of control. T-Bird, he came in and he says, "Where's the bullet?" And now this ghost gonna kill my ass next.
Grange has had enough at this point, so he grabs Skank to force him to sit at the table while aggravating the goon's injuries.
Oh, this ghost gonna kill my ass next. This ghost gonna kill my ass next. This ghost gonna kill my...
Dollar cuts in as he grips the terrified goon's chin to force him to look up.
Hey, it ain't no ghost.
They have all arrived.
Micah announces as she enters the meeting room.
Watch him. We might need him.
Dollar gives the order to Grange, who takes his seat on the edge of the table in front of Skank.
This ghost gonna kill my...
Skank tries to repeat, but Grange shushes him. Meanwhile, at Mickey's hot dog stand, Sarah was trying to enjoy a nice lunch with Gabriel when the now suspended Bernard Alrech pulls up to join her.
He likes his plain or with onions.
Alrech attempts a joke with Sarah in regards to the feline companion, but she was distracted with the memory of her interaction with Alrech.
Fine. Don't talk to me.
When someone's dead, they can't come back, can they?
Alrech was a little confused by the preteen's question, but figures she may have seen Alrech as well, so he engages in the conversation.
That's what I thought. You referring to anyone in particular?
You'll just think I'm nuts.
Yeah, well, then maybe they'll have to lock us both up.
You see him too?
I saw somebody. Maybe it was your fairy godfather.
Alrech didn't come back for me. He can't be my friend anymore because I'm alive.
Sarah starts to tear up.
You want a friend to walk you home?
Later that evening, back in the meeting room of Top Dollar's HQ, Dollar himself along with Micah and Grange, who has a firm hold of Skank, are in a meeting with all of their associates.
Well, boys, it seems our friend T-Bird won't be joining us this evening, on account of a slight case of death.
Dollar muses before asking Skank to take his seat.
You want to sit down?
Grange then forces Skank into his seat before the Twisted Syndicate leader continues.
Well. Devil's Night is upon us again, so I thought we'd throw a little party, start a bunch of fires, make a little profit.
I like the pretty lights.
Problem is, it's all been done before. You see what I'm saying?
That's no reason to quit.
Wrong. Best reason to quit. Only reason to quit. A man has an idea. The idea attracts others, like-minded. The idea expands. The idea becomes an institution. What was the idea? See, that's what's been bothering me, boys. But I'll tell you, when I used to think about the idea itself, it put a big old smile on my face. You see, gentlemen, greed is for amateurs. Disorder, chaos, anarchy. Now that's fun.
What about Devil's Night?
What about it? I started the first fires in this goddamn city. Before I knew it, every charlatan and shitheel was imitating me. Do you know what they got now? Devil's Night greeting cards. Isn't that precious? Yeah.
During Dollar's speech, Alrech was perched on a fire escape listening in.
The idea has become the institution, boys. Time to move along.
You don't want us to do a light my fire time for the whole city?
No. I want you to set a fire so goddamn big the gods will notice us again. That's what I'm saying. I want all of you boys to be able to look me straight in the eye one more time and say, "Are we having fun or what? Hey, you! What's your name, huh? Skank! You don't feel that?"
I feel like a little worm on a big fucking hook.
I feel like a little worm on a big fucking hook. Well, boy, your mama must be damn proud of you.
Dollar roars out as Alrech's crow flies into the room, which freaks the fearful Skank out.
How the hell did that thing get in here?
Gentlemen.
Alrech announces himself as he walks towards the table before he leaps up to take a seat on it as Skank begins to panic.
Let me go! I gotta go! I suppose you're all wondering why I called you here today.
Cute. So you're him, huh? The Avenger. The killer of killers. Nice outfit. Not sure about the face, though.
I just want him.
Well, you can't have him.
Well, I see you've made your decision. Now let's see you enforce it.
This is already boring the shit out of me. Kill him!
Dollar gives his command and the group start firing shots at Eric till he eventually drops.
Ooh, that had to hurt. Well, that's that.
The crime boss declares as another guest makes his way around to Eric's location.
That guy was crazy.
He shouts before realizing Eric's body was missing.
He's gone!
Suddenly, he takes a shot to his temple from Eric, who still has Funboy's pistol that caused a huge shootout while Top Dollar along with Micah and Grange makes his escape from the scene.
Get him!
One goon shouts as they all waste their ammo on the invulnerable man, who takes them all down one at a time. At some point during the chaos, Eric eventually runs into Skank, but the injured coward grabs one of the women who was at that meeting to use as a human shield.
Right here! Help me! He gonna kill me!
Skank then shoves the woman into Eric to serve as a distraction so he can hide underneath the table.
Jesus Christ!
Another goon shouts as Eric takes him down before grabbing a katana blade.
Hey, you're all going to die.
Eric's words were more of a warning rather than a threat.
Get the fuck out of here!
Another thug yells out, but it's too late. Once Eric had cleared the room, he leaps onto the table with the katana in hand, knowing exactly where Skank is, so he drives the blood-dripping blade through the table, which scares Skank out of his hiding place before Eric jumps down to grab him.
Guess it's not a good day to be a bad guy, huh, Skank?
I'm not Skank. There's Skank right there! Skank's dead!
That's right.
And with that, Eric uses his strength to hurl Skank through a window. The falling thug cries out before he crash lands onto a police cruiser from several stories high.
What the crap?
The exiting officer shouts when he sees Skank's lifeless body on his roof. Eric was then about to take his leave when a group of cops come rushing in.
Don't move. Hold it. That's all she wrote. Move and we shoot.
You are surrounded by police units. Do not attempt to escape. Stop running immediately. Holy shit!
Eric is running on rooftops and leaping from roof to roof while down below streetside. Alrech was following him in his Monte Carlo. Eric eventually runs out of rooftops, so he had no other choice but to take a leap of faith down as Alrech pulls up to his location.
Get in! Come on! Move it!
Eric stumbles into the passenger seat before Alrech peels out.
You want my advice? Next time, duck. So many cops. You'd think they were giving away donuts.
Alrech then slams on his brakes to prevent his car from ramming a crossing police cruiser.
Shit!
He shouts before he checks on Eric. He sees his passenger seat is now empty.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Meanwhile, in Grange's car.
Look at that out there. The whole city ought to be in flames by now. Sky ought to be red.
So that, I take it, is the fault of the late great Eric Draven.
Grange chimes in as he lights up a cigarette before Micah shares what she believes is a discovery about the man and his crow.
He has power, but it is power you can take from him.
I like him already.
The crow is his link between the land of the living and the realm of the dead.
So, we kill the crow, and we kill the man.
On the other end of town, Eric was roaming the streets before he ditches Tintin's now tattered trench coat and pauses for a moment.
I'm coming home, Shelly.
He declares before he hears a group of trick-or-treaters laughing as they make their way towards him before they dance around him as he shares in their joy by laughing along with them. Moments later, Eric would find his way back to the cemetery where he finds a sleeping Sarah on Shelley's grave. He then crouches down to gently wake Sarah so he doesn't startle her.
You're gonna say I shouldn't be in the cemetery in the middle of the night, right?
Safest place in the world to be.
That's because everybody's dead. I knew you'd come here.
It's really late, Sarah.
You didn't say goodbye.
You're just gonna have to forgive me for that.
And you're never coming back.
Eric then removes Shelley's ring he had been wearing as a charm on his makeshift necklace.
I gave this to Shelly once. I think she'd like you to have it. This way you'll always remember her.
The preteen takes a good look at the ring she now has around her neck.
Tell you what, I promise to never take it off if you promise to never leave again. Deal?
Sarah tries to bargain with Eric, but he makes her a reasonable promise.
I don't know if I have any control over that. But for you, I'll try.
Sarah then gives Eric a firm hug before he embraces her in return while he's being hit with more flashes. When they finally part, Sarah gets up to collect her skateboard.
I better go sneak back in the house. Bye.
Once Sarah exits the cemetery, she was passing by the church when suddenly, Grange reaches out to grab the poor, unsuspecting girl.
Shh. Take it easy, sweetheart. Come on, come on.
When Grange brings Sarah into the church, he brings her over to the waiting couple that is Top Dollar and Micah.
What is that? Some sort of souvenir there from your pal?
Dollar inquires as he snatches the ring off of Sarah, causing the poor girl to wince from the necklace snapping against the back of her neck.
I'll just keep it for good luck. What do you say,
Dollar teases as Micah gets a good look into Sarah's eyes.
Her eyes are so innocent.
Meanwhile, back outside in the nearby cemetery, Alrech was still paying respects to his love Shelley when he hears a cry for help from a familiar voice.
Alrech. Alrech, help.
Through the eyes of his crow, Alrech can see Sarah being held captive as she cries out for him, so he rushes over to the church out of sheer instinct, but when he reaches the steps that lead up to the front entrance, he was stopped dead in his tracks by the old cowboy.
Quit screwing around. Your job is done. The problems of the living is not your concern.
It's not that easy. Get out of my way.
You'll lose everything. I took that risk and lost.
That's your story.
Then you'll live as a mortal. Alone.
I'm already alone.
Then choose. Choose and be damned.
After the cowboy vanishes, Alrech then makes his way inside before his crow perches onto his shoulder for a beat before perching onto a nearby pew as the painted warrior approaches Top Dollar. Alrech would stop dead in his tracks again when Grange fires a shot at his crow, which does connect and knocks the poor bird off the pew but does not kill the wounded bird.
Quick impression for ya. Caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead!
Dollar mocks Alrech, who isn't having any of the crime lord's twisted brand of humor.
Give me the girl, and I'll let you walk out of here.
Well, why don't you just give me a minute to think about that, huh?
Alrech gives Dollar a look that's half confusion and half disgust till finally, Dollar makes his decision.
Nah, fuck it.
He says before firing a shot at Alrech's shoulder.
Oh, fuck.
Well. It does seem to me that our little life has undergone a rather significant change in the past few minutes now. Wouldn't you agree?
Dollar declares in between some punches to Alrech.
Well, for a ghost, you bleed just fine.
In all the chaos, Grange spots the crow hobbling around.
It's still alive.
Well then, kill it!
Dollar shouts before Grange cocks his firearm.
Bye-bye, birdie.
Grange mutters, but before he can follow Dollar's orders, he takes not one but two shots in the chest by the unexpected Bernard Alrech, who just arrived on scene. Dollar tried to get some shots in on the suspended officer but misses, so he and Micah, who now has the injured crow in her arms, head up the nearby tower.
Shit. Well, just came by to pay my respects, and here you are getting all shot up again.
Alrech informs the injured Alrech Draven, who brings his ally up to speed.
They've taken Sarah.
How many?
2 more. I can handle it, don't worry.
I'm not worried. Look, here's the plan. You stay in front, and when they run out of ammo, I'll arrest them.
Well, that sounds like a great plan, but there's just one problem.
Oh, shit. You're bleeding all over the place. I thought, you were invincible?
Yeah, I was, but not anymore.
Well, I guess you really will need my help, won't you? Come on.
They both then make their way inside the tower where Dollar gives Micah his gun.
Here, take that.
He and Micah exchange a kiss before he takes Sarah up to the top. When the two heroes enter, Alrech takes cover before Alrech fires a few rounds at Micah, who hits the officer with one of her own, which causes him drop back to sit on the steps and against the corner before Alrech runs up to check his injured ally.
You were supposed to stay behind me.
I think I messed up.
Alrech then makes his way up to Micah, who stood ready as she takes aim while still holding Alrech's crow in her arm.
This is all the power you ever had. Now it is mine. Pity, there's not more time for us.
Suddenly, the crow manages to break free from Micah's hold before it uses its beak to peck her eyes out, causing the blind woman to stumble over the railing and drop to her death right in front of the grossed-out Alrech. Alrech finally reaches the top of the tower before he stumbles and takes his time to catch his breath.
I'm coming home, Shelley.
He repeats before he steps out of the tower as Sarah calls out to him.
Alrech. Help, Alrech. I'm scared.
Sarah then tells Dollar.
Let me go.
but Dollar ignores her before Eric make his demand more clear.
Let her go! You can have me. I won't fight you.
All right.
Dollar answers before tossing Sarah over to the side.
No!
Eric roars, but Sarah was able to catch herself on a ledge.
Eric.
Sarah calls out to let her friend know she's alright, for now before Dollar and Eric brawl on the rooftop of the old church before Dollar unsheathes his sword, but Eric was able to better of the situation when he pulls a sword-like sculpture from a tower top to even the odds. Eric managed to kick Dollar away thinking he was done before the painted warrior searches his friend.
Sarah?
He calls out as Dollar creeps up behind, which Sarah sees.
Look out.
But it was too late as Dollar was able to drive his blade through Eric's back and out through his stomach before pulling the blade back out.
Eric.
Sarah cries out as Eric takes a seat against the tower top before Top Dollar leans in to talk to the painted warrior.
You know, my daddy used to say, every man's got a devil, and you can't rest till you find him. What happened back there with you and your girlfriend? I cleared that building. Hell, nothing in this town happens without my say-so. So I'm sorry if I spoiled your wedding plans, friend. But if it's any consolation to you, you have put a smile on my face. You got a lot of spirit, son. I am going to miss you.
I have something to give you. I don't want it anymore.
Eric then grips Dollar's face.
30 hours of pain. All at once. All for you.
Eric then releases Dollar's lifeless body to let it fall from the roof before it get impaled by the horns of a gargoyle statue. After rescuing Sarah once again, the two friends would embrace before heading back down the tower to check on the injured Alrech.
Go help him.
Are you alive?
The concerned young girl asks her friend, who smiles warmly at her in response.
God, I need a cigarette. Everybody else dead?
Alrech asks Eric, who settles in a spot close by.
You helped me. What you kept up here saved me. Thanks.
Don't mention it. I've been meaning to come to church anyway.
After taking a puff, Eric then places the cigarette in Albrech's mouth.
Oh, yuck. I'm quitting as of now, if I live.
Stay with him till health comes.
He'll be okay, right, Eric?
And for the last time, Eric had vanished before Sarah and Alrech can say their goodbyes.
He does that a lot.
Back out at the cemetery, Eric takes his last step.
Shelly.
Her name was the last thing he says before his body gives out. Then she appears. The one person who Eric did everything for. Shelly. She walks over to Eric's location where she wakes him to let him know she had come to bring him back home with her. Meanwhile, back at the church entrance, medics were carrying the still very much alive Officer Alrech on a gurney with Sarah at his side.
At least it stopped raining, huh?
Can't rain all the time.
Sarah shrugs as Detective Torres approaches.
No, I don't believe it. This nightmare your fault, Alrech?
Alrech looks over at Sarah.
Look, you going home now, all right? I'm okay.
He reassures Sarah, who does as she was asked.
Want to tell me what's going on?
Torres asks before Alrech reaches for the detective's tie to pull him in close.
Your vigilante's up on the roof. You missed it.
Get him out of here!
Detective Torres gives the order before Alrech snickers in response. Sarah makes her way back to the restored graves of Eric's and Shelley's, where Eric's crow gives Sarah back the ring Eric had given her for Shelley.
Thanks.
She says with a warm smile before she finally makes her way back home.
If the people we love are stolen from us, the way to have them live on is to never stop loving them. Buildings burn, people die, but real love is forever.
There ain't no grave can't hold my body down. There ain't no grave can't hold my body down. When I hear that magical blackbird sound, I'm gonna rise up out of the ground. Ain't no grave can't hold my body down. Well, I look way down the river. What do you think I see? I see a band of angels and they're coming after me. Ain't no grave can hold my body down. There ain't no grave can hold my body down.